Alright, JulianK versus Moon. Oh, JulianK, that should be a good match. Okay, so we got Moon versus JulianK. Moon is playing as the Brits, and then JulianK Boomer is playing as the Russians. Russians versus Brits. Very interesting. I'm trying to recall, have we seen this matchup this tournament? I believe we have seen one instance of Russians versus Brits. If you need any sort of review of that, basically it's a match where Russia tries to be as annoying and aggressive as possible to try to cut down on the British boom and stamp them out. If they fail, then they fail miserably and the British just overwhelm them in even bigger numbers. Because normally when you think of the Russians with the block training, they should have like huge numbers of units to pressure the enemy with. Huge masses. But funny enough, when you're facing the Brits and you don't like counter them properly, that can be the British attacking you with like huge armies of muskets and cavalry and stuff, which is pretty scary, you know? Yeah, but looks like JulianK's already got a good 30 food treasure there, which is quite useful. Basically, with the Russians, you train villagers in blocks of 3, so it costs a whopping 270 food to get these blocks. So anything you can basically do to get some extra food treasures will make your Ville training experience feel a little bit better, you know? A little bit nicer. Yeah. Going for the gold treasure now, that could be useful. Could help you get a batch of recruits out later from the blockhouse. Going with wood trickle, distributivism first. Russians do not get any sort of villager cards, so wood trickle is always going to be the best card to get as the Russians at the start of the game. For the Brits, though, they got villager cards, so that's what they're going to get as their first card of the game. And Tornio 1v1. So he's got he's got pioneers in there. So he cares about securing his Ville advantages, the Brits. I find that very fascinating, you know, because he knows that there's a risk that he could get raided like crazy from a civ like Germany or Russia. So he decides, you know what? Yeah, no. So he calls himself that like I call myself Link. Interesting. Yeah, there's always some cool usernames you find for players in AoE 3 and other games. I just called myself Unstoppable Streletsy because I knew that the Strelet was the weakest unit in the game stats-wise. It's like Garbo down there with the Quang Pikemen and stuff. So to make that unstoppable is unreal. So an Age of Empires 3 player says, oh, a Streletsy that's unstoppable. I never heard of that before, and it's like an earworm, it sticks into your head and you remember it. So that's where I came up with that from, if you were wondering. Because it was right around the time that I started to do online multiplayer stuff, is around the time I started doing AoE 3. So I liked the Streletsy concept a lot, so I became Unstoppable Streletsy. Simple as that. Alright, so Brits going governor. It's really the politician you should always go with the Brits, to get you enough gold to start your musketeer production, get you a nice outpost for defense to protect all those villagers if you're so much building up, basically. And how is he doing on manors, by the way? How many manors is he up to? So he's got about 3 of them built so far. Remember that every manor house you build gives you a free villager, so yeah, build, baby, build. That's the way you're supposed to do it with the Brits. Change over from your hunting right onto wood chopping as soon as you start that age up transition. It's really good for you. Gets you a ton of economy that way. Yeah. Definitely. If I remember correctly, this is the moon that I know from the Wars of Liberty community, if I recall correctly. Because I remember facing this moon in Wars of Liberty. He's a pretty strong opponent, you know. Like, I think I almost beat him once with the Koreans when he was playing as Haiti, or I was playing Haiti against his Koreans and he beat my Haiti. But nah, he was a pretty solid opponent, so he could do an okay job against Julian probably. But nah, Julian's gonna play pretty powerfully here. We'll see. So he's got his tower up now. He's going to be able to scare away this explorer there. Barracks up now. Alright, so Cossack shipment in, recruits being trained out of the blockhouse, so going musket Cossack. He's now going to get a block of unstoppable Streletsies, of course. Whole reason everybody remembers that civ nowadays. Cossack, ooh, good slam villages there, very nice. Very good. Ooh, good job targeting the Cossacks. Very nice idea. Because basically you can use your, Wow, look at the pressure game JulianK is playing on his opponent here. He can't even grab his crates. This is Russia done right here, man. He's doing a good job. He doesn't know what to do. He's literally trying to put the settlers in melee to go up against the Streletsy. Oh, that's really not good. Not good at all. Oh, good shot for the muskets, right in the melee range. They're gonna shred these Streletsys now. Not so unstoppable anymore, Streletsy. Yeah, definitely not. Quite good. Yep, so he's at least got a little breathing room now, which is great. How much resources has he got? So he's got a ton of wood. So is he gonna just get like a couple manor houses and like try to defend, or what? Oh no, he's already got the Streletsys back again. His multipliers are not gonna be good on his muskets. Definitely not. It's really not gonna be great. Very interesting. What about this one now? Yeah, yep, I think Russia's done it. They've effectively smothered the Brits from getting the Kwame now. Enough to get enough longbowmen to fight him off. Yeah, this is exactly how to play Russia against Brits, folks. This is a good example right here. Basically just pin them in the base and cut them off from resources so they can't do anything. Yeah, he knows his way around unstoppable Streletsy very good here. This is unstoppable Streletsy done unstoppable right now. I mean, all Moon can do at this point is just use a longbow shipment, use the rate of fire to try to clean up some of them, but he's not going to be able to do that with just 6. He's going to take out a good number of them. Pretty interesting, but yeah, no. Got a good number of them out, but yeah, just not enough to complete the job though, unfortunately, yeah. One Hussar? Yeah, no, one Hussar is not going to do it, man. One Hussar is like nothing. Definitely. Yeah, no, Russia won this one fair and square at this point. I like this because JulianK showed us how to pressure effectively as the Russians against a British opponent. This is a good way. Setting up so much pressure that the enemy can't leave their town center without losing a build, thus they never leave the town center, and then eventually gradually growing more troops the point it doesn't matter that they have town center and fire anymore. You just got so many troops that you can just keep running them in and in and in and in and in and just keep pressuring and pressuring. That was a masterful pressure campaign there by JulianK. I like that. Definitely knew what he was doing there, yeah. Absolutely. Very, very nice. Yeah. Very good game there. That was a really good show. That the Brits aren't as scary as everybody thinks they're out to be. You can pin the Brits pretty good. Pin the Brits really good actually if you want to, yeah. And let's go on to the next one now. Right here. Look for the next one.